Hey everybody, this is Sage Valentine, and welcome to my review of Hannibal Season 2, Episode 3, Hassun. Hassun basically means the second chorus or the second scene, and currently we are in the second chorus of Hannibal at this point. Before I even begin, let me be the first person to say I believe that Will is not guilty. Even though we have seen stuff and he could have done these things, I still think Will is not guilty. And I think that not only is Hannibal in the picture now, but there is another person. And I am hoping, fingers crossed, that it is Michael Pitt. Please, Michael Pitt, because they said he's coming on this season. Let this killer be Michael Pitt. I thought the first killer was Michael Pitt. I want this one to be Michael Pitt. Please. Please, writers, please. Oh my God. Okay. Here we go. The clock is ticking. Will is alone, standing in his suit. Someone is sitting on the electric chair with this leather thing over his face. Well, to make a long story short, everything goes backwards. The mask is taken off the face, and you realize that it's Will. Will is pulling the lever on himself, electrocuting himself, and then he wakes up. There is an attendant there bringing Will a suit. Will's getting dressed for trial. Hannibal's getting dressed for trial. They're both buttoning their shirts at the same time, putting on their ties at the same time. Rather than fixing his cufflinks, Will gets handcuffs. Hannibal fixes his cufflinks. Will's in court. The lawyer, which is a woman, I didn't catch her name, she says that Will could not escape the profile he created in an unconscious state. He killed 4 women. I personally, like I said, to me, Will is innocent, and I think that Cade is on a warpath trying to catch somebody, and she just uses Will as a scapegoat, but I really don't think Will did this. They said that Will killed Abigail Hobbs and ate her. We know Will didn't kill Abigail, nor did he eat her, because Hannibal stuck that thing down his throat, and Will remembered that. Will has a remarkable memory and insightful to human condition. He's the smartest person in the room, and his profile became his alibi. Like I said again, Will is being scapegoated into this. That's what I'm saying. Jack and Cade are talking. Will Graham is playing a game, according to Cade. On the prosecution side, Jack says that Jack still believes that Will is innocent. Regardless of everything else, in the back of his mind, he still has that thought, like, Will is innocent. Will didn't do this. If you can't represent your beliefs, represent the Bureau, let yourself off the hook. This is what Cade is saying. Because Cade is trying to convince Jack that what he's thinking is incorrect, and no, it's not. Like I said, Cade has an agenda. What that agenda is, I don't know, but she is putting herself in harm's way of this new killer. Please be Michael Pitt. Please be Michael Pitt. Crawford does not believe that Will is the killer. He says that he thinks that Will hated being with the FBI, but the only reason that he stayed with the FBI is because he was saving lives. Crawford blames himself for Will's downfall, as he's been blaming himself this season last season towards the end he started to realize it, but this season he blames himself. Jack feels like he paved the road for Will's defense, according to his lawyer, I think. The way the lawyer says that Jack paved the way for Will's defense, but the way the lawyer is acting towards Will, like, annoys the crap out of me, because rather than looking at Will as his client, he's looking at him like he's an item, like he's selling something, or he's marketing something, like this is some type of marketing thing. Like, this is this dude's life here, man. This guy is just it's about as obnoxious as that prosecution lawyer. She's a pain in the neck herself. Someone sends some type of package in, and when the lawyer opens it up, it's an ear. And Hannibal and Crawford are sitting down there drinking wine, and Hannibal said that Crawford did a brave thing, but Crawford said, you know what, it may have cost me my job. He said that death has come to, I think it was either he said death has come to his door or Hannibal said it, because Bella, his wife, Jack's wife, is still really, 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 really sick. Like I think she has stage 4 cancer and she's dying at this point. He wants to take her to Italy so that she can die there and just leave the job. But Hannibal tells Crawford, don't leave the job and commit career suicide. Don't do it. Crawford is just standing there in like the lab with the different scientists or forensic scientists, and like everyone's talking, but he really can't hear it. Like he's kind of in his own world. The ear was cut from the body 48 hours prior, and it's a gift from an admirer. Crawford believes that someone else committed the crimes that Will was accused of. They see it as the ear as a helping gesture. Gratitude has a short half-life. And I'm saying, and me and Hannibal agree on this, there's another killer. I know there is. There's got to be somebody else. I don't think Hannibal would have eaten that dude. He damn sure wouldn't have taken potty. I mean, he's done it before. But he wouldn't have just taken the brain and stuff and left it out there. He would have cooked it. Hey, I've seen those Hannibal movies. I saw Hannibal, the movie, and he sliced up that brain and fed it to Ray Liotta, so he wouldn't have wasted those body parts. Hannibal said that I think Will says there's no evidence against you, Hannibal. When Hannibal brings up the idea, that Will still believes in his heart that Hannibal's framing him, and he's right, basically. Will says, accusing you makes me look insane, but I'm not insane. Not anymore. No. Ever since his mind opened, Will is like clear. Everything's crystal clear. The ear equals an opportunity for Will's defense to like fix this so that they can save Will. Hopefully this dude is working, because this dude is working my nerves here. The real killer wants to be seen and he cares for Will. But who is it? Michael Pitt. That's all I'm saying. Keep that name in your head, everybody, because Michael Pitt's coming, and I do believe he's that killer. Then here comes, of course, called to the stand, Miss Liar, Pants on Fire, Freddie Lowndes. Which she looked actually nice in her little outfit until she opened her mouth and lied on Will, talking about she blamed Will for Abigail's death. Hello, Hannibal, standing right there in plain sight, waving at you, blood on his hands, like, hey, I did it. Freddie Lowndes. Ugh. Lord. Very close to Abigail Hobbs, says Freddie Lowndes. That's what she was. Very close to Abigail. She's writing a book for Abigail, which I personally was mad at her for doing that, because she was like using that girl. Said that Abigail said Will wanted to kill and eat her. No. Abigail was worried about Will and felt like Will was a little too close to her. The eating and killing part, I don't recall Abigail saying that. Now, if she said that, guys, definitely leave that in my comments. But I don't remember her saying that she wanted, because I just watched that season. I don't remember him saying anything about eating or killing her. I remember he had dreams of killing her, but he never said he wanted to kill her. I remember that. But the defense brought up the idea that Freddie Lowndes was sued 6 times for libel and settled each time. So whatever she said is inadmissible regardless. Her hat was cute, by the way. Dr. Bloom is prepped for her testimony, where Will has to sit in that room where he's in that cage and she's sitting in front of him. She has to, because of her emotion for Will and the fact that, like, everyone will see her as having a relationship with Will, so she's got to do this way. Someone is trying to frame Will in my ideas. A trap was set for whoever, basically what happened was that they basically figured out that ear came in the mail from somewhere, and the only person who saw that ear last was the bailiff. So they realized that the bailiff had the ear, and they go to the bailiff's apartment, and when they open the door, they trip a wire, and the entire apartment is set on fire completely. Everything was basically destroyed, set on fire, and you see the bailiff laying across a stag's head with the horn sticking out of his body, and his mouth is cut open into a smile a la Joker style, except it was done even more precisely than the cuts here and here. It was just like big old smile. Then his ear was cut off. So, and he was shot as well. So, the apartment, like I said, was destroyed. He was roasted. And like I said, that was the officer. The body was basically gift wrapped for the FBI to find. And all of a sudden, the two guys from the FBI, I'm going to tell you their names because I don't normally mention their names. I just kind of go over it. I believe that it was Brian Zeller and Jimmy Price. They were debating whether they should have taken a stool sample from Will because the ear is in his mouth. Those two are so annoying. They're funny, though, but annoying. Like, we should have taken a stool sample because the ear was in his mouth. I'm like, Hannibal did that. Nobody sees Hannibal. No one ever sees Hannibal here. So the person, someone knew the details of that killing that weren't released. Nobody really knew anything about that body being draped. Like, that girl that was draped over the horns and everything. No one knew the details of any of that. So it has to be somebody who's in the know who knows things. Jack Carter says that Jack Carter says that the murder basically raises doubts. Cade wants to keep on going. Cade has an agenda. This chick is like one-track mind. We're going to get Will. We're going to fry Will. Will, in his mind, he's fishing again. I guess that's where he goes. That's his happy place. Fishing. Dr. Chilton is trying to bury Will by basically, because he's a hater. I say Dr. Chilton's a hater because he is a hater. And he's like Hannibal's little boy toy, basically. They haven't consummated that whole thing, but he is just like sprung for Hannibal completely. Just completely. He tries to say that he is objective and has no personal relationship with Will, other than the fact that he's been mad at Will since Eddie Izzard's character got loose and all that stuff. He has an agenda against Will regardless, irregardless. Will's personality is controlled, he claims. Will murdered his neurologist, and Chilton is a hater. I added that part at the end, by the way. Will didn't kill that neurologist. That was a dude that killed him. I think it was Eddie Izzard's character who killed the doctor. What you call it? Will likes to play God. When does Will ever play God? Just because Will knows stuff? Dr. Chilton is such a hater. Just messy and a hater. So Hannibal goes to see Will. He brings a file with a couple of pics to see the copycat or his admirer. He asks Will, what does he see? And I am so happy. It's the first time all season that the pendulum yellow thing is back. Shoop, shoop. I love it. And everything goes backwards. I love it. I lived for it in season 1. I love it. So Will sees the stag head. He sees Mr. Sykes, who is the bailiff, walking in, and he basically takes the place of him shooting him and throwing him on the horns, and then cutting his mouth and cutting off his ears. Will says that the death was not personal. This man is the ink from which flows my poem, a tribute. This is my design. And he cuts that thing like a smile. Oh, so gross. It's not the same killer, and an idiot can see that Will's in jail, so this is not Will, but again, Cade still pushing that agenda like, well, it's objective, and that crazy prosecutor pushing that agenda, well, this is different because of gunshots. Heifer, please. The crime is a distraction, and it's basically the path to freedom of the Will, and for Will, and Will basically learns that Hannibal intentionally missed facts to, I guess, leave Will breadcrumbs so Will would look towards him. Hannibal likes to play these games. Love it. He wants Will to believe the best of him. Wait till Will finally honestly realizes that Hannibal did what he did. Like, when he truly learns, it's going to be a hot mess, and I am here for it. Hannibal, are you going to let his love... Hannibal tells Will, are you going to let his love go to waste? Will is abandoning his defense. Dr. Bloom is all upset because they're not going to put her on the stand. The lawyer is trying to make reasonable doubt stick. Hannibal is taking the stand in place of Dr. Bloom because Will is not pleading insanity. Because they keep refuting that insanity defense, so he's got to find another way out of this. So, Will sees the black deer when Hannibal sits down, those antler ears and the black thing and stuff. And Hannibal basically said that he was supposed to be Will's stability, and he basically failed at that. The bailiff's murder was committed by the same guy who did Will's murder. This is kind of my thing and kind of what was going on. Will couldn't accept his actions and find another. This is what Hannibal said. So Hannibal said that Will couldn't accept his actions and had to find another reality to believe in. The FBI personally wants to throw the book at Will, and the judge refuses to accept Will's defense, and Hannibal's just pissed. Will is upset. So you see somebody, he's just laying down, and like you see the camera go into the floor. Then you see this dude waxing the floor, and he's going backwards, listening to classical music. And he turns around, and the judge is like hanging there with the top of his head like folded down, which means whoever did this knows about the body. Like, are they a mortician, something? Turn the skin down, and is holding a scale. It's got the brain, and I think the top of the head could have been the heart, but I thought it was the top of the head and the heart. But then and it's like the scale. So Hannibal's quote basically narrows it down because there's a hole missing in the guy's chest too. Not only is justice blind, it's mindless and heartless. The case is a mess. The trial will have to start again. It basically spares Will the guilty verdict, but Cade is in shock. And I'm like, hey, chick, you're next. Miranda from Sex and the City, you are next. She's definitely next on that guy's list if she keeps on. Everyone at one point or another has to leave. Cade tells, this is what Cade is telling Jack Crawford. Everyone at one point or another has to leave someone behind. You will be left behind in the end. Will is drifting in and out. Someone comes to visit. The cell door opens. He walks out and sees the deer or the stag, as someone on the internet called, just walking. Clunk, 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 clunk. Hannibal is holding the, when he walks, I guess, to follow the deer, he hears Hannibal call him. Turns around, Hannibal's holding the cell door open for him to come back, and you see it's a dream. Will could have been misdiagnosed. The killer will reach out to Will. He wants to know them. This is what Dr. Bloom thinks, that Will was misdiagnosed. The killer wants to reach out to him. He wants to know him, according to Will. Dr. Bloom says, what do you want? She said, I want to save you. And he reaches out, holds her hand, and that's the end of the episode. 2 things that I'm going to say to you guys, and if it comes true, I will be smiling and jumping around anyway. Okay. Cade is next on that things hit list. And like I said about 50 times in this video, Michael Pitt's that killer. If Michael Pitt is not that killer, I'm going to be very upset. But I'm just saying, to me, it seems like they're building up to that next killer. And since they mentioned Michael Pitt, I'm thinking Michael Pitt is that killer. Hopefully. I'm also still holding out hope that the cast of Pushing Daisies pops up either in season 2 or season 3. I'm talking to you, Leaf Hayes. You, Kristen Chenoweth. All of y'all. Pop up, please. Chai McBride would be nice to see too. Please, pop up. Anyway, this episode was really good. It was awesome. I can't wait till episode 4 because it looks like Abigail pops up in Will's little fishing dream. I was reading it on IMDb. Sorry to ruin you guys with the spoiler, but I saw the picture. You can see the picture anyway, so I'm just wondering. But anywho, next week's going to be a mess, and if they decide to go on with this trial, this killer's going to keep on lopping people off. I guess next he'll be killing one of the lawyers. So maybe they should just call it mistrial and hold this off till they find this crazy guy that's doing this. But anywho, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you like what you hear, you like my reviews, definitely subscribe. If you like the video, definitely give me a thumbs up. If you got any comments, anything to add to it, any theories, guys, just add it to it, because I am an open book here. I would love to know what everybody's thinking. So, thanks for tuning in to this. Definitely check me out on Twitter at Sage Valentine if you want some extra reading, some little light reading. Read my blogs, Blogger, I hope you can handle it, and WordPress. The truth is. So have an awesome last hour of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend, because, guys, I will be back. I'll be back with The Following and The Walking Dead, because The Walking Dead is going to be crazy. And Believe. I will be doing Believe. Guys, definitely check out some of my videos for Believe and Red Road. 2 good shows you guys to check out. So have an awesome weekend, and take care. And this is Sage Valentine. Bye, guys. Mwah. Bye.